This is our project for today. A couple of sturdy pages glued together. Fun door. Fun COVID picture behind there. I had fun with the background. Stencil, bricks, burlap. Hey ladies, I know I usually don't talk to you before a class video, but today I must because there was a technical difficulty someplace and I lost the beginning of the video. So we are going to be creating some sturdy pages. So however many you glue together, you'll be gluing those together on the right hand side and on the left hand side. Okay? Then you're going to cover all 3 exposed pages with underpants. So here's your double spread, okay, your 2-page spread, underpants here, and then turn this page over, which is a sturdy page, turn that over and put underpants there, okay? So I put burlap down, which you will see as part of the video. And then I tinted some texture paste with some burnt sienna. I just mixed some burnt sienna in a small amount of texture paste, and the first layer of bricks was with that texture paste. Texture paste with some burnt sienna or acrylic color of your choice, of course. I let that dry, sanded that a little bit, and then I added the green. Green? Whatever the first color was, I added that. And I think that's where the video picks up. So my apologies. I'm going to create a 2-page spread, sturdy page, underpants, underpants, underpants. All right? Then we're going to be playing on the outer, all right, not this one, but this one right there. That's the one that we're going to be playing with, putting burlap on and the tinted texture paste to create the bricks. All right? Okay. Back to the video. I'm bringing in a piece of burlap. And I'm going to glue that into the book. I'm going to use tacky glue because I'm not sure that the Mod Podge will hold that down, and I do want that to stay. So my brush had some burnt sienna left on it, so a little bonus there, a little color on the burlap. I'm going to bring in some Payne's Gray. I will dilute that with some water. And paint the wall. And we'll let that dry. Bring in my sandpaper. Knock that down. Bring in some white acrylic and some well-loved bubble wrap. So very, very blotchy with the white acrylic and the bubble wrap. And we will let that dry. Bring in some teal, dry brush. And we'll let that dry. Bring in my sandpaper, knock that down a little bit. Bring in my timber brown StazOn. And we have a beautiful brick wall. Gorgeous. Let that dry. Bring in my white gesso. Paint these 2 pages with the gesso. Smash the 2 pages together. Pull your pages apart. You've created texture. Now let that dry. All right, the textured gesso is dry. I'm bringing in the timber brown, stays on. Do that to both pages. Let that dry. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm going to bring in some mustard. Beautiful. Let that dry. All right, I'm going to bring my cutting mat in, and I am going to cut a hole in this page. All right, when that's cut, remove that. And cut this in half. I have a piece of vegan leather that I'm going to cut into 4 strips. So I have the 4 strips of the vegan leather brown paper bag. I'll bring the timber brown back in and catch the embossing on that. Glue down the vegan strip with some Mod Podge. I'm going to put a layer of Mod Podge on top of the frame. Let that dry. These pieces did come out of the hole, but now they are, I need to size them down a little bit, so I'm going to cut just a little bit off each door. Alright, so I have my doors cut, my window cut, my doorway cut. Go ahead and stabilo around the edge of that. And now it's time to find a focal point for inside the doors. So the doors will go here. Find a focal point for inside your door. I have chosen my focal point. I'm going to put Mod Podge on the back of her. Position her down. edge her with the Stabilo. I put some Stabilo on the side so that's a little bit darker in the window or in the door. Beautiful. All right, now I'm going to glue these pages together with tacky glue or some kind of a strong adhesive that you have. I chose to put the tacky glue on this side because I wasn't quite sure where it was going to lay on this side. Bring that over, press that down, grab some clamps. Before I put the rice bag on, I'm going to put hinges on the outside of the door. Hinge here and a hinge here. I have popped a starter hole here with my awl. These pages are thick enough that they should accommodate the screw. Make sure you're putting the hinge down the correct way and screw it in. I have one hinge attached. I'll put one here, and one here. Or thereabouts. Alright, so I have the hinges on. My rule of thumb is if you can't make it straight, make it really crooked. I don't measure. So I have 2 hinges here and 2 hinges here. They are off center. I'm going to get my rice bag, stick it on here, let this dry before I install the doors. I did use the screws. Mine are thick enough. It came through just a little bit. I just backed it up. I backed the screw back up so that it didn't poke through the page. No big deal. Not going anyplace. Rice bag on. All right, let's talk about these screws in the door. What I'm doing is I'm bringing in my cutter and I am snipping the screw off so that the screw is shorter. Bringing in my awl, poking a hole where I want that screw to be. Bringing in my itty bitty screwdriver and installing that screw into the hole that I made with the awl. So it goes in far enough to hold the hinge and not so far that it goes through the other side of the door. I'm going to bring the awl in, poke a hole here. Bring in this fun tag, split brad. Stability inside of the doors. Let everything dry. All right, there is our fun finished piece. Ta-da! Your turn. Go create, go play, go have fun.